Welcome back to Day 2 coverage of the 2016 North Coast Swimming and Diving Championships from the Trumbull Aquatics Center on the campus of Denison University in Granville, Ohio. Again, I am Russell Kramer of the NCAC office. Thank you for joining us as we bring you exclusive coverage all week of the 32nd NCAC Swimming and Diving Championship. Finals open tonight in front of an electric crowd with the men's 200 free relay, where the Kenyon Lords, made up of seniors Percy Gates, Ryan Funk, Joey Deronio, and junior Austin Pooh, touching the wall in 1:20.61. Funk posted the fastest split of 1975. The Lords took home first place for the sixth time in the past 7 years. Rounding out the top three was Denison in second and DePaul in third. On the women's side, Denison touched the wall first with a time of 1:32.41. The Big Red Quartet of junior Carolyn Kane and seniors Ashley Yearwood, Kate Wright, and Mary Van Leuven turned in Denison's record ninth straight victory in the event. Van Leuven led all swimmers with a 50 split time of 22.73. Kenyon finished second, and the Tigers of DePaul secured third. The first individual event of the evening was the men's 500 freestyle, as Denison took the top two spots, led by sophomore Stuart Holm, who touched the wall in 4:29.24. Holm is the first Big Red swimmer to win the event since 2011, when Al Wyke earned the top honor. I had the opportunity to catch up with Holm, and I opened by asking him what it meant after finishing second as a freshman to come back his sophomore year and climb to the top of the podium.
I'm really glad to pull a victory out of this one for my team because, again, like you said, last year I got second. So coming up just a little bit short last year, it stung a little bit, and being able to get a little bit of redemption this year by actually, winning the title for my team, that was really valuable to me.
You talk about the team. You look at this event. Does it relax you a little bit standing up at the blocks before it starts, seeing so many teammates? Denison goes 1-2 in this event, 5 of the top 7, really dominating in the 500 free this year. When you stand at the blocks and you see so many guys to your left and right, does that relax you a little bit? And how much pride do you take in the success that the Big Red had in this 500 free?
There's a lot of pride in the success because we basically filled that final, but in the sense of having a lot of my teammates up there, it takes a lot of the competitive strain away from it, just because I know everyone that I'm racing against really well. I know how they train. I know just how they do everything. So it just puts a lot of confidence in my mind that I know they can do well and I know I can do well, and that we just perform well as a group.
For you, the first Big Red swimmer to win this event since 2011, when Al Wyke won it, one of the great swimmers in this program. What does that mean to you to finally have the Big Red back on top at the podium for this event?
It feels great to continue Al's legacy because his record in the 500 is something that I want to get. It's just great to be able to continue and bring forward the tradition that he set for the distance program here.
And finally, in the 500, the bell lap, it's sort of a sprint distance event. And when you hear that bell lap and you know you're on that final 50, sort of what's going through your mind? Does that give you a little extra jolt into that last 50?
I wouldn't say as much of an extra jolt, more of a sigh of relief that I'm actually so close to being done. I know that sounds kind of bad to say, but being on the cusp of finishing, it does give you just a little bit of extra edge where there's only 26 more seconds of this, you can make it. So it does kind of take a bit of the strain off being that close to being done, but at the same time it is kind of, waving a carrot in front of your nose because you still have more to do.
In the women's 500 free, it was DePaul junior Angela Newland who set the pool afire as she set an NCAC meet and pool record with a winning time of 4:48.61. Newland, who won the event her freshman year and finished third as a sophomore, set the record this morning in prelims and returned to finals to break the record after her record-setting performance. I caught up with Newland, and she talked about her record evening.
It's really satisfying. When I got the record this morning, I was really happy about it, but I'll say one of my concerns was that I wouldn't go any faster tonight because it was such a painful race. But I talked to my coach, and he told me don't be burdened by success and just to swim smart and go for it. And so that's what I really try to do tonight. And so when I was swimming, I saw him at the side getting really excited and cheering me on, so I knew I was doing well. I felt a lot better than I did this morning. And so when I saw that time, it was a great moment for me. I knew all the hard work and all the pain was totally worth it.
4:48.61, the new NCAC meet record and pool record as well. As a freshman, you won this race. Last year, as your sophomore, you finished third. To come back in your junior year to shave 3 seconds off your time from this meet a season ago, just how much does that speak to the hard work that you've put in over the course of the past year?
Yeah, it's really nice. I had a really, I was struggling a lot with breaking the 450 barrier. I literally think I've gone 450 so many times. I can't even count. And so all I wanted to do was just break 450. And so going 448 meant a lot. And my freshman year, winning and breaking the record, that meant a lot. And so I had a bad national meet. And so going into my sophomore year, I just tried to really focus on nationals. So even though I was a little upset about my time at conference, I knew nationals was a big meet, and to focus on that anyway was a bigger deal anyways. And so, I don't know, just getting the record now and getting a lifetime best, I didn't think that would happen. So I was really pleased with the result.
The 500, I think, is a sort of a unique event. It has a little bit of a sprint distance feel to it. For you, when you hear that bell and you're on the bell lap, does that kind of pump you up a little bit? Does that give you a little extra energy? Talk about sort of that last lap and experiencing that, and then ultimately touching the wall and being first.
Yeah, towards the end of the 500, that's when the lactic acid starts to kick in and the race just becomes so much more painful. And so when you hear that bell, you're just like, okay, this is it. I only have a 50 left, and then I'm done. And so it feels really good to hear. And then I also noticed I was on the lead, so I was like, just keep going strong, just try to get first. And so that's what I did. I just killed it. I just try to sprint all out because there's no holding back. You're done after that 50.
And finally, Angela, as we look ahead to the next couple of days, finished with the first full day of competition here at the NCAC Championships, some really nice swims from your team. How do you and the rest of your teammates just sort of continue to build off of today's momentum and close out this NCAC meet strong?
Yeah, we had some really good times. We definitely swam really well at prelims, and then at finals, we killed it tonight. We just got 2 school records in our 4 medley relay and then our 2 freestyle relay. And then we also had a lot of NCAA B cuts, so I was really happy about that. I love my team. They're always here to support me, and I can see us doing really well for the rest of the meet, so I'm excited to see what will happen.
The second NCAC meet and pool record was set in the men's 200 IM as Denison junior Jack Lindell hit the wall in 149.21. 2016 marked the 8th straight year the Big Red swimmer has won this event. After the race, I caught up with the Edina, Minnesota native and opened up by asking him about the new record and his first individual title.
Yeah, it was a lot better than this morning. This morning, hurt a lot. Been not really tapered or shaved so far, so it was kind of a relief to touch and look up at the board and see that good time.
For you to win this event, now the 8th straight time a Big Red swimmer has won this event, how much pride do you take knowing that you kind of continue that streak of Big Red swimmers in this event and really been dominating over the last decade?
It's really nice. I remember my freshman year, I watched some of my best friends, 2 seniors, go 1-2 really close. And then last year, Joe won when I was almost right next to him. And so to be able to do the same this year has been a nice experience.
An atmosphere question. Finals night. Does it feel different at an NCAC championship? Do you feed off of the crowd? I mean, the crowd gets into it, especially here at home. It seems like everyone's having a lot of fun. Is that sort of, what say you about that atmosphere?
I think conference is definitely like any other beast other than nationals. I know behind the blocks, it's nice to have Joe next to me, just kind of get psyched up to race him, and watching the other guys throw down in the 500 was a lot of fun. But when I get right up behind the block, it just kind of all goes quiet, and I don't see anything other than the pool in front of me.
Heading into tomorrow, 2 individual event wins tonight. You close out the evening with the 400 medley relay as a team. How much confidence does that give this group heading into the second full day of competition? What does this Big Red program need to do just to continue to build off of today's momentum?
We just got to keep level-headed. I know this morning we had a few really great swims and a couple maybe more questionable swims, but everyone came back tonight and gave it their all, and everyone swam a lot better.
Kenyon Ladies sophomore Julia Wilson took home the women's 200 IM with a time of 2:03.08. Wilson, who used the breaststroke leg to really pull away from the field, became the first ladies swimmer to win this event since 2012. I had a chance to ask Wilson about the feeling of her first NCAC individual title.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I mean, we're having really exciting swims across the board, and I just kind of built off the energy that everyone else was putting out there.
Julia, obviously in the IM, all the strokes are tested. For me, as I watched you, your breaststroke really stood out to me as sort of the moment when you kind of took over the race. Was that something you felt was strong coming into this evening? Where did you feel like you really gained a lot of momentum and eventually to pick up the win?
Yeah, breaststroke is definitely my stroke. I kind of rely on it in the 2IM because, as soon as I turn from the back to the breast, I know I'm good.
Obviously, tonight with the win, your first ever individual NCAC title, what was that feeling like when you touched the wall and you looked to the board and saw your name first? I imagine it was pretty special.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I love my team, and I love being able to, do that for them and just let sort of the energy flow. So.
A lot of really good swims tonight for the ladies. Obviously a good start to the first full day of NCAC competition. Just heading into the next few days, what must continue for this group just to build the momentum and close out this NCAC championship in a strong manner?
I think it's just the excitement that we have on deck. Everyone's really ready to go and excited for everyone else and having fun, and I think that's what makes us a really special team.
The final individual events of the evening featured the fastest swims of the meet as Kenyon swept the 50 freestyle. In the men's race, it was Lord Senior Ryan Funk who touched the wall in a pool record time of 20:29. The Lords took first and third in the men's race, and after I caught up with Funk and asked him about his first career individual title.
It was very exciting because I'm not sure how many it was, maybe one or two prior conference titles in relays. So this was the first time I actually had an individual title, and it's pretty exciting to see first place there up on the board.
Obviously, the 50 free, an incredibly fast race. Out of the start and the turn, so key when it comes to a race that's this tight. For you, when you're standing on the blocks, sort of take me through that mental progression as you get prepared to take off, and then what are the keys out of the start and then that turn to bring it home and eventually pick up the win?
Well, for me, I like to kind of let my mind go before the race. It's kind of hard because, just naturally you're going to, get some anxiety and adrenaline rush, which is good. And so you kind of want to allow your mind to just relax and, use that as a benefit before a race. And then, because it is a 50, everything matters. If you mess up a turn or a start, then that could be, the difference from you going first to seventh or something like that. So I just try and, each race just have, same race every time.
End of day one of competition, well, I guess the second day, first day in the pool with the swimmers, just your overall assessment. You open up with a 2 free relay win as a team, then you close it out individually with the 50 free. A really nice day for the Lords. Just your overall assessment of where this team is at and what needs to just continue to happen over the course of the next few days to build off momentum from the first day.
I think that the team's doing really well overall, both the scoring and non-scoring guys. And I think what we need to do is just continue focusing on ourselves because there's a lot of great racing out there and, great swims for the guys who are also non-scoring, as the time trial is going on currently. So it's pretty exciting to watch all the swims together. And I say as long as we just, keep having fun out there, we'll be doing great.
Ladies senior Hannah Lobb tied a pool record with a time of 23:30. After her championship swim, I caught up with the New Zealand native and asked her about her first ever individual title.
I was just really excited that I could do that for my team and try my best and do my best because I know that everyone else is out there doing that as well.
23:30 ties a pool record here. Obviously in the 50, a fast race, the start and the turn are so important. Sort of take me through what's going through your mind as you step to the blocks and what you're really focusing on in terms of the importance of the start and that turn. What's key for you?
I think the key to the 50 is kind of not thinking. It's over so fast that if you think about something that might have gone wrong, then you're kind of out of the race. So I try not to think too much, but yeah, getting off the start quick is obviously really helpful, and then getting a good 10, getting a good push off. I pushed off kind of deep this morning, so I really wanted to get a good 10 tonight.
And finally, for you in your senior year, obviously your final NCAC championship, what is this experience like for you to be here with your teammates? Obviously, finals night is always so special. The crowd is into it. It gets loud around here. Do you have an opportunity to just take that in and realize how special that is for you? Are you having a lot of fun with the rest of your teammates?
Yeah, definitely. I noticed this morning that I think the heat session was the most exciting start to the conference championships that we've had in my 4 years here. I think our team this year is really close, and that helps a lot in and out of the pool. We're all along the side cheering for each other, and you definitely feel the excitement in your body before your race, and that's really cool.
After the 50 free, the crowd turned its attention to the diving well, where the women's 1 meter finals took place. For the third consecutive year, Kenyon's Maria Zarka won the event. The crowd witnessed history as Zarka posted a pool and meet record of 480.85. Zarka broke Allegheny's Melissa Moody's record that was set back in 1989. The senior also became the first three-peat champion of the 1 meter since Kelly Anderson of Allegheny won 4 straight from 2000 to 2004. Finally, with the win, Zarka joined an elite club, becoming just the 4th diver in conference history to win the 1 meter 3 times in a career. The final event of the evening was the 400 medley relay. For the first time since 2011, Denison swept both the men's and women's race. In the men's race, sophomore Jason Westling, Brandon Howley, and seniors Andrew Rich and Ryan Fleming combined to edge out Kenyon, touching the wall in a time of 3:17.56, an NCAA B cut. Kenyon finished second, and Worcester turned in an impressive performance for third, earning all conference honors in the event for the first time in program history. On the women's side, Denison seniors Ashley Yearwood, Marissa Benderick, and Mary Van Leuven, along with junior Carolyn Kane, touched the wall in 3:45.38 to take home the victory. Kenyon finished second, while DePaul took home third. Finally, let's take a look at the standings after day 2. Starting on the men's side, Denison continues to lead with 653.5 points. Kenyon 6th and 2nd with 572.5 points. DePaul with 320 points is in 3rd. The Little Giants of Wabash are in 4th with 289 points. And rounding out the top 5, Worcester with 219 points. Ohio Wesleyan follows in 6th with 181 points. Wittenberg with 180 points is in 7th. Oberlin lands in 8th with 175 points. Allegheny is in 9th with 147 points. And it's Hiram in 10th with 88 total points. On the women's side, Kenyon sits atop the standings with 622 points. Host Denison is in 2nd with 583 points. DePaul is in 3rd with 332 points. Oberlin in 4th at 281 points. And rounding out the top 5 on the women's side is Worcester with 279 total points. Wittenberg is in 6th with 197 points. Allegheny with 195 points is in 7th. Ohio Wesleyan with 146 points is in 8th. And Hiram with 102 points rounds out in 9th. That will wrap up our exclusive coverage from day 2 of the 2016 NCAC Swimming and Diving Championships. Be sure to join us tomorrow for all of day 3 action, which gets underway with prelims starting at 10 a.m. The men's 1 meter prelims set for 1 p.m. And then we'll be back for finals at 6:30 p.m. Again, I am Russell Kramer with the North Coast Athletic Conference. Be sure to log on to our website, www.northcoast.org, for all the latest news and notes from the 2016 championships. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at NCAC. From all of us at the conference office, thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.